You think I'd learn by now. Um, Obviously, we all know your relationship with Frank, and I guess in a two-part question, kind of number one, do you plan to bring him in any kind of role? And number two, when you do add a coach in the middle of the season in general, I guess what goes into that decision to kind of change the staff a little bit on the fly?
You know what, Rube, it's obviously very early, obviously, with everything that's going on, and so I haven't even really thought about that quite yet. As far as bringing somebody in the middle of the year, what goes into that a lot of times is familiarity with the person, and so that's what goes into that quite often is the familiarity with the coach, the relationship with the coach. But I'm not there yet. Obviously, obviously we're just finished up our evaluation of our game and just starting in on San Francisco.
Go ahead, Chris, and then Dave.
Afternoon, Nick.
Hey, Chris.
The last couple few games, you guys have had some issues when it came offensively in the first half. What do you attribute to those issues, and where do you think you guys need to fix it? Is it something scripting? Is it other stuff that's happened that's causing these issues?
Yeah, I mean, you give credit to the defense and of what's happened. We haven't started the way we've wanted to start. Obviously, we look at all that stuff. Always want to start fast. We've traditionally, these last couple years, have been a team that has started fast. So I'm not hitting a panic button by any means. I think we've been pretty good on our first drive. We've been pretty good starting in general, but obviously these last two games. But I get it. You're judged off your last two games, not the whole body of work sometimes. And so we'll make sure we're working hard to as coaches to put the guys in positions to succeed. Not just scripting. I think a lot of times what happens because you ask scripting, and so that's gonna mean play calls and all that stuff. Like it's design of plays too, right? And so when a play doesn't work, and we put it on ourselves as coaches, it's not just about the play call, it's about the design of the play. And so in our detail of which we go about teaching it and instructing it. So anytime I take something like, hey, that's us on coaches, like I'm not speaking of play calls. I'm speaking of sometimes it's the play call, but sometimes it's the design of the play and which goes into that. So we'll look at all that and we'll be back.